Good morning to all. I am Mrs. Vidhyalakshmi PN. Today we are going to see in detail the growth and development of infant. As we all know, the growth and development starts from the conception to the graveyard. The growth denotes an increase in size of an individual due to an increase in the number and diameter of the cells, and development denotes functional maturity of the child. The growth and development are not synonymous, but they are assessed simultaneously. The growth performance in a child should be coupled with assessment of development to get an idea of the child's performance in overall growth. The growth refers to an increase in size or mass of the tissues. It is largely attributed to multiplication of cells and increase in intracellular substances. It can be measured in inches, centimetres, kilograms and pounds. So, it is a quantitative term. Hence, it can be measured. Development. The development specifies maturation of functions or physiological maturation. The term development is used to refer the progressive increase in the skills and capacity to function. It is a quantitative change in child's functioning and is difficult to measure. Development is the result of maturation and learning. The development denotes the qualitative change in a child's functioning. The growth is a quantitative, whereas a development is a qualitative. The maturation. Maturation is an increase in competence and ability to function at a higher level depending on child's hereditary. It refers to unfolding of human potentialities or hereditary traits which are carried by the genes. For example, a mother who dances very well, the offspring being produced by the mother will definitely have a hidden talents of doing a dance incredibly. Growth. Growth is a quantitative. Growth comprises of height, weight, size and shape of body organs like brain. It is due to the cell division. Growth is for a limited period. Growth can be measured. In the sense, it can be measured in the height, weight, inches and pounds. Growth tells one aspect of personality but in limited scope. Development is a quantitative as well as a qualitative. In this, with the physical changes, cognitive, social and emotional change are also included. It happened to motor and adjustmental process and their interplay. Development takes place till death. It can be observed by matured behavior. Development deals with all the aspects of personality and has a vast scope. Now we are going to see the stages of growth and development. As I have already discussed, the growth and development, it starts from the conception till the graveyard. So the prenatal period, it starts from a conception to 8 weeks. It is called a embryonic stage. Fetal stage from 8 weeks to 40 or 42 weeks. The infancy, the neonate from birth to end of 1 month. The infancy 1 month to the end of 1 year. Early childhood, it is a toddler from 1 year to 3 years of age and preschooler 3 to 6 years. Middle childhood, it is considered as a school age from 6 to 12 years of age. Late childhood, it comes under adolescent, it is 13 years to approximately 18 years of age. The definition of a normal infant. In this period, which starts at the end of the first month up to the end of the first year of age. More accurately, from the 28 days of the birth to till the first years of age is considered as the infancy period. The infant growth and development during this period are very rapid. Why? Because there is a numerous amount of development of fine motor skills, gross motor skills and also a psychosexual, psychosocial, intellectual and moral development. Physical development of infant. The temperature, the normal temperature of an infant is 36.5 degrees Celsius and pulse 110 to 150 beats per minute and respiration 25 to 45 breaths per minute. Blood pressure 80 by 60 plus or minus 20 by 10 mm of Hg. Length or the height. Less than 6 months of age, there will be an increase of 2.5 centimeter per month. and from 7 to 12 months 1.5 centimeters per month. The weight. The average weight of an infant can be calculated by a formula age in months plus 9 whole divided by 2. For the first 1 to 6 months, there will be an increase in a weight of 30 grams per day, and from 7 to 12 months, there will be an increase of 15 grams per day. And head circumference, 6 months, there will be a 1.5 centimeter per month, and for next 6 months, there will be a head circumference increase of 0.5 centimeter per month. Chest circumference, 1 to 2 centimeter less than the head circumference. The head circumference and the chest circumference equalizes by 1 year. Dentition, 6 to 8 months, there will be a 2 lower lateral incisors, and from 12 months 6 to 8 deciduous teeth. Now we are going to see the reflexes. The reflexes are the spontaneous reaction towards any stimulation is considered as reflexes. For the infants, there are various amount of reflexes, that is primitive reflexes that is present from our birth. The spontaneous reflexes like blinking, yawning, sneezing, and these are also a protective reflexes against any of the dust or the foreign particles. Now we are going to see in detail one by one. So eye reflexes. Eye reflexes, it consists of blinking reflex and the doll's eye. The blinking reflex, where we produce any external stimulation by flashing any light or producing any sound, the baby will blink their eyelids. And next, doll's eye. As we have already seen, as we all know, the doll, when we keep it in a straight, the doll's eye will close, and when we awake it, the eye will open. In the same way, the infant, when it is being placed in the supine position, there will be a closing of their eyelid, and when they are being awakened, it will be wide open. It is considered as doll's eye. Next, we are going to see the nose reflex. Glabellar reflex. Glabellar reflex is a eye opening response when there is a tapping in the glabellar region. Hence, the infant will blink when we touch the glabellar region of an infant. Next, we are going to see the sneeze reflex. Sneeze reflex is considered as a protective reflex because when there is an entry of any of the foreign particles like dust, there will be an immediate response by sneezing. Hence, the infant also exhibits a sneeze reflex in the same way. Next is a mouth and the throat reflexes. Rooting reflex. In rooting reflex, you can see when we stroke in the side of the cheek, the baby will turn towards the stroking or the stimulation, considering that the child is in need for a feed, and the child will turn towards the stroking. When we stroke on the left side, the baby will turn towards the left side. When we stroke the cheek on the right side, the baby will turn there to the right side. Next is a sucking reflex and the swallowing reflex. Here the child will have a sucking reflex where the rooting reflex and the sucking reflex are paired together. After the rooting reflex is being exhibited, the child will wide open their mouth and search for the feed and start to suck their feed from their mother, and followed by the swallowing reflex. Next reflex of mouth and throat is extrusion. Whenever we keep any food particles or hand in the mouth, the baby will extrude out with the help of tongue. As we have seen in this image, the baby tries to extrude the tongue out now and then. So, whenever we keep any food particles in their mouth, there will be a extrusion of their tongue. Next is a yawning reflex. When there is a increased oxygen demand, the baby will yawn, as we adult also do this. Next is a coughing reflex. Next is the extremities reflex. It's a plantar grasp. Plantar grasp is when we keep or any object or a hand in their sole of the feet, the baby will, as we have seen in this image, the baby will catch the object with the help of their fingers in the sole. It is considered as a plantar grasp. Next we will see the palmar grasp. In palmar grasp, whenever any object or a hand is placed in the hand of the baby, there will be a grasping of their object or the fingers. Hence, these are the two grasps which is present in the infant. It is a palmar grasp which is present in the hand, plantar grasp where the baby will hold any object or the fingers when it is kept in the sole of the baby. Next is a Babinski reflex. The Babinski reflex in an infant, when we stroke the sole of the feet in an infant, the big toe opens up and other 4 fingers fans out. This is very normal reflex up to the 2 years of age. Next mass reflexes, Moro reflex, where startle reflex. The Moro reflex and the startle reflex are paired together. Why it is paired together? Because there will be a same amount of reaction. Moro reflex and startle reflex have only differences employment of the reflex actions. For example, in a Moro reflex, the child is being placed in a supine position and made to fall to some extent. The child's arms are flings outward in a sideways. The same reaction is being exhibited in a startle reflex also. But the only thing is, when we make any sound noise by clapping our hand, the same reaction takes place. That is startle reflex. Hence, the Moro reflex and the startle reflex, the reaction of the infant is same. That is flinging of arms sideways. Next is dancing reflex. When the baby is placed in a stepping position, the baby starts to step forward. The dancing reflex is otherwise known as stepping reaction or the stepping reflex. Next is crawling reflex. The infant starts to crawl by 7 months. Hence, use all the 4 extremities in movement of the in making of movement. So, till now we have seen the reflexes. Now we are going to see the milestones from a month wise. As infancy is a period from a 28 days of birth till the 1 years of age. Hence, they show a numerous amount of reflexes, fine motor skills, gross motor skills and also the milestones. So, in the first month, the baby will exhibit a social smile. The social smile is till 1 month of age, the baby will not exhibit any reactions, but at 1 month, the baby starts to smile to all the peoples they see. That is social smile. Next, in the second month, the baby will coos and vocalises. In the coos and vocalises, the baby will blabber by using the words boo, ah, like that. They will vocalize some of the words when they see a strange persons or their caregivers. Hence, at the second month, the baby will exhibit coos and vocalises. And in third month, the baby will very well have a head control. Fourth month, the baby will have a hand control. Fifth month, the baby will turn over from the back to the abdomen. And in the 7th month, the baby will crawl. And in the 8th month, along with crawl, the baby will make a movement with the help of hands. It is a creeping. 9th month, stands with support. Stands with support in the sense, with the help of table, with the help of hands, the baby will able to stand. And in the 10th month, the baby will exhibit walk with support. And in 11th month, the baby will stand alone. And in 12th month, the baby will walk alone. So, till now we have seen the milestones from 1st month to 12th month of age. Now, we are going to see the Gross motor skills. The gross motor skills, it involves the required to control the muscles of the body for the large movement such as crawling, jumping, skipping. Hence, from the 1 month, the turns head to side when prone. The 2nd month holds the head erect when held upright. 3rd month holds head erect and steady. And the 4th month holds the head and shoulder at 90-degree angle when on abdomen and looks around. 5th month rolls from back to front. 6th month sits with support. When we keep a number of pillows behind their back, the baby will able to sit with the support. The 7th month rolls from back to abdomen and then starts to crawl and make a movement. And the 8th month, the baby will sit alone steadily. And the 9th month stands with support, as we have said, with the help of tables, high chairs, and with the help of hands of their caregivers. The baby will stand with support. In the 10th month, the baby will exhibit a walk with support. 11th month, stand alone. 12th month, the baby will establish a walk alone by making a small tiny steps. Next, we are going to see the fine motor skills. The fine motor skill is the coordination of small muscles movement with the eyes, hands and fingers. It aids in the overall development and intelligence. The fine motor skills it develops throughout their human development. And the 1st month holds the hand in a tight fist. 2nd month hands may be open. Fine motor skills. 3rd month holds hands in front of the face and stares at them. 4th month brings hands in midline and plays with the fingers. The 5th month holds a rattle and makes a clinking sounds. 6th month begins to transfer objects from one hand to other. 7th month holds a feeding cup and makes a sips of their liquids. And the 8th month eats finger food, drinks from cup. The 8th month, the baby will start eating the finger foods because they develop a pincer grasp, where they use their fingers in eating their finger food. Next, in 9th month, picks up the objects. And the 10th month releases objects holding it. After picking up the object, the baby will release the objects, whatever they are holding in their hand. The 11th month takes the toys out of box, and in 12th month holds crayons. So, we have seen the milestones, fine motor skills, gross motor skills. Now, we are going to see the psychosocial development. The psychosocial development employed by the author Erik Erikson. It's a sense of trust versus mistrust. It's a complete dependence on caregiver. The baby will completely depend and trust only on the caregiver, for example, their mother. They will deny going to other persons from their house or from the strange persons. The baby will deny going to their other than their caregiver. Hence, the baby will trust only their mother or the caregiver. Next is a psychosexual development. The author is Sigmund Freud. The infancy stage, the baby will be in the oral stage, that is need for the sucking pleasure. Whenever the baby feels very hungry, uncomfortable or thirsty or need for a love, warmth and emotional support, the baby will immediately the baby will start sucking their fingers, thumbs. Hence, their pleasure is being released out by sucking their fingers. Next is a spiritual development by Fowler. It's undifferentiated feeling of trust, warmth and security from the foundation for the later development of faith. It is a feeling of trust, warmth and security from their caregivers, and whatever the caregiver does, it becomes as their faith. Next, intellectual development by the author Jean Piaget. Sensory motor 0 to 2 years. Stimuli are recognized and incorporated into existing action. Next is a moral development by Kohlberg. It's a pre-conventional morality stage 0, that is from 0 to 2 years of age. Unable to understand good or bad, the good is what is like and want. The baby has a confusion what is good and what is bad. The baby thinks that whatever the baby likes, whatever the baby wanted, the baby thinks it is a good behavior. For example, whenever the baby cries, the mother gives her feed, and the baby thinks that whenever we cry, we will seek a feed from our caregiver. Hence, it thinks that crying is a good behavior. Hence, the baby thinks whatever the baby likes it or wants it, it becomes as a good behavior for it. Next is a language development. The language is of two, that is receptive language and expressive language. Receptive language responds to the human voices. Expressive languages cries when hungry or uncomfortable, 6 to 8 words at 1 year. Play by Newhall. It's a solitary play. Infants can play alone for a long period of time. Hence, in an infancy period, the baby will not mingle with any other persons, but they play in a very alone way for a very long period of time, like jumbling, like collecting their balls, throwing balls. The normal nutrition requirement of the infant: calories 120 kilocalorie per kg per day, proteins 2.5 to 3.5 gram per kg per day, fat 4 to 5 gram per kg per day, iron 10 gram per kg per day, calcium 400 gram per day, vitamin D 400 international unit per day, fluids 120 ml per kg per day. The health problems the infants may have is falls, suffocation, aspiration or swallows foreign bodies, near drowning, burns, poisoning, motor vehicle accidents. The needs of the infant is need for sucking, safety, emotional need, love, security from the primary caregiver, discipline leading to self-control, developing self-esteem, nutritional need, urine output 1 ml per kg per hour. So, now we have seen the normal growth and development of the infant. It is a red flag signs in the infant development, that is unable to sit alone by the age of 9 months, unable to transfer objects from hand to hand by the age of 1 year, abnormal pincer grip or grasp by the age of 15 months, unable to walk alone by 18 months, failure to speak recognizable words by 2 years. So, importance of studying growth and development. The role of a nurse is the knowledge of growth and development helps the nurse to understand the behavior of the child so that the child can be handled intelligently, know what to expect from a particular child at any age. Nursing professionals offer important knowledge and significant practices for the development of parenting in early childhood care. Assess the children in terms of norms for specific stage of development which will help in guiding the children into more mature behavior. Thank you.